Welcome to the weekend edition of the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. I'm Michael Thompson and hello, Sean Aylmer.
Hello, Michael.
Sean, on weekdays, it's all about the Fast 5, the top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. On the weekend, we still keep it to 5 minutes, but we are going to pick out the biggest business story of the week, the most remarkable business story, a sleeper story, one that's kind of flying under the radar a little bit, and our favourite business story. Let's jump straight into the biggest story of the week. What was it?
As the economic growth figures, the annual pace of economic growth has fallen to 1.1%, the slowest rate in more than 30 years outside the pandemic. On a per capita basis, growth went backwards. Again, that's 5 quarters in a row. For the March quarter, the economy grew by 0.1%. So we're running at like a 1% pace annually. Normally, it's somewhere between 2.5% and 3%. The economy is very, very weak. Household savings is weak. We also had Michelle Bullock in front of Senate estimates this week. She said that she would increase or decrease interest rates during an election cycle. It's not about the politicians. It's about inflation. Big story, Michael.
Yeah, certainly is. Another one this week, though, Sean, definitely worth a mention, was the decision by the Fair Work Commission. They increased the minimum wage by 3.75%. It's equivalent to about $30 extra per week. Big news for a lot of people. 2.6 million workers affected by this, either on the minimum wage directly or on an award that's linked to it. It also affects the businesses that will be paying these higher wages. The thing about this, though, was that the Fair Work Commission seemed to have done almost the impossible and satisfy pretty much everyone. Unions wanted higher, but they were pretty happy with what they got. Employers wanted less. They were pretty happy with what they got. Economists were happy because they say it shouldn't add to inflation. Small business a little bit hesitant about the impact it's going to have on their members. But overall, a pretty good decision, it seems.
Yeah, overall, I think you're right there, Michael. What about your most remarkable story?
Oh, the most remarkable story, I think, is one that just it makes you shake your head. We're talking about the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme. It's a complicated topic because it's worthy, it is necessary. It's an important scheme because it provides for people with a disability. It gives them the help that they need through funding and the assistance to get those services and support. But it's also really expensive. It costs around $42 billion this financial year, with forecasts for major growth into the future. The problem is, though, we learned this week about just how much it is being rorted. Criminals manipulating participants in the NDIS, using the money to buy drugs, holidays, cars, that type of thing. The allegations came from John Dardo, who is the integrity chief of the National Disability Insurance Agency. That's the group that oversees this. So if anyone's going to know about this kind of thing, he would. He said to a Senate committee this week that at least 5% of the scheme spending isn't on genuine need. So that's about, $2 billion of taxpayers' money that should be helping people with a disability going to criminals. It is pretty extraordinary. And the warning that he issued is, he said that it might be hard to hear, but it's outrageous that somebody can come in and claim $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 without a description. He said we do not have enough judiciary to process the cases we have in the pipeline in the country. If we were to prosecute these, it is pretty damning. The whole thing is remarkable.
Totally remarkable. Just a quick mention for the banking sector. Commonwealth Bank hit a new high this week. Its share price is up 30% over the last year. Not even the best performer of the big banks. NAB's up 38%. Westpac's 35%, ANZ's 28%. That's despite all these things going against the bank. Their profit margins are down. Loan arrears are higher. That means customers are falling behind in payments, not significantly, but a little bit. Banks also are very, very expensive at the moment. The economy is slowing. Banking analysts have sell recommendations on the major banks, yet they just keep going. Truly remarkable.
Yeah, it really is. All right, have you got a sleeper story for us?
Yes, this is the tale of Chinese interests trying to skip into Australia and dominate our mineral supply. Northern Minerals mines dysprosium and terbium. They're used in batteries, magnets, defence equipment, stuff like that. A Chinese businessman called Wu Tao bought a 9.9% stake in the company, then tried to up it to 19.9%. He was knocked back by the Foreign Investment Review Board. Now he's accused of getting associated or related parties to buy for him. When the buying began last year, the CEO of Northern Minerals reported it to the Foreign Investment Review Board. Shareholders then attempted to remove that CEO. Now, Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers has ordered companies associated with Mr. Wu to sell down their stakes. There's also been a leak of data from that company. There was a shareholder meeting this week in which Mr. Wu, the Chinese businessman, tried to get on the board. He failed. At the end of the day, it looks like Jim Chalmers has used his power to prevent a surreptitious attempt by Chinese interests to grab control of a promising miner. Quite an amazing tale. It makes you wonder how many more of those sorts of things are going on out there.
Yeah, it is pretty extraordinary. Can I nominate a favourite story of the week, Sean?
Please do.
All right, I think you'll love this one. The Mona Gallery in Tasmania is
yes.
about to exhibit an album that is so rare and so valuable that only a few people have ever listened to it. The album is called Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. It was recorded in secret by the Wu-Tang Clan and produced over a period of 6 years. Now, they made one single 2-CD copy, and then they deleted all of the original master files. They wrapped the album up in a legal agreement that says it can't be commercially exploited until 2103, which is a long, long time before someone can bust out the CD burner and make another copy of it. In the meantime, there's one copy, just one. It's in a special nickel silver casing. It's going to be at Mona for just over a week. And there's a limited number of tickets available where you can listen to a curated 36-minute mix from the album, played from a personalized Wu-Tang PlayStation 1. This thing has had an incredible journey to get here. It's been sold at auction multiple times, been seized by the US Department of Justice, and then sold again. And now it's wound up at Mona. It's going to be treated like a work of art. What a story.
Cracking story.
There we go, 5 minutes and pretty much everything you need to know in the world of business. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
We'll be back on Monday morning with the top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Don't forget to hit follow and join us online on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook and X. I'm Michael Thompson, and this is the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed.